Anne, we have been asked to give some tips to new filmmakers or directors, filmmakers who are moving from one genre to another in terms of working with casting.
Okay.
So, I think the way I start always when someone hires or asks us to do something, I research that person first of all. So whether it's a student who's never ever done a film ever in their life before, or whether it's a very seasoned director who this is their 18th feature, and anywhere in between, especially when directors come from, say, television and do a lot of episodic and then move into the independent film world, I find that actually really fascinating because the way they're used to working with a casting director, I think, is television, episodic oriented, but feature film casting is actually very different in how one is working with a casting director as well. So we have a lot of ground to cover. And maybe because your specialty, or one of your many specialties, frankly, is student films, if they're brand new out of the gate, what would you recommend to student filmmakers?
So we always have a casting concept meeting, and we're definitely talking about the concept of the film, but it's also like a first date. Trying to figure out, can we work together? Can we have a collaborative language? And where are you in your craft? And how much do I need to step in? How much do I need to let you take over, especially with students? Sometimes there's that deer in the headlights look,
yes.
And I'm like, okay, you're going to be sitting at the table and watching the whole process. And then there are other students that are really ready to go, and they are considering the casting process, the directing sessions. And it's the same way with new filmmakers as well. I love watching new filmmakers direct in the audition space. But it's fun to watch seasoned directors direct in the audition space too,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's funny, isn't it? There was an actor who became a director for the first time of an independent film when I was in Los Angeles. And I remember that he came into the room before the actors came in, and he confessed very quickly, like, I'm so nervous. I hope I can direct him okay.
Oh.
And he's a very celebrated director now, but it really was amazing because I think it's the first time in my career that I realized I was leading a new filmmaker to the process, and you and I both are so passionate about education that it was fine, but yeah, sometimes I think actors don't realize that the directors in the room are just as nervous as the actors.
This is their baby too,
exactly.
And they want it to go well. And we have to realize as casting directors, it is a collaborative process. There's no room for ego. There really just is not. And whatever is the best for the project, that's what the tone of the room is going to be. So whether it's you stepping back or you having to take the lead in that room of a new filmmaker, the actors coming into the audition should realize when they're being directed by that director that is a glimpse to what their set is going to be like.
Right.
Whether they're very specific about their blocking, whether they're very specific about punctuation in the script, those things don't go away. Those are the things that are important to them in the audition room, and they're going to be important to them on set as well.
I'm always impressed with a first-time director in whatever genre who really is like, okay, let's block it out, let's have this, and then they've really put a lot of thought into it. And then there's certainly some directors that I've had the pleasure of working with, and they're wonderful, but they have no idea what they want, and then I find myself stepping in too.
Yeah.
And so I think for new filmmakers, I would highly recommend that they know every in and out of the audition scene in terms of blocking, what they want, what they imagine, and then physicality comes into play a lot of the time. And I love your kind of recommendation, especially for student filmmakers, is to
don't go for the look. Go for the best actor that comes into the audition. When you go for the look, and it's an actor that can act really well, that's great. But if you just go for the look, and it's an actor that isn't up to the job, you're not going to have a good film.
Yeah, I find that, I dare say, first-time directors or directors who are moving genres and become kind of first-time directors, if you will, over again, tend to shop for actors and tend to not rely so much on their casting director with 5 amazing choices that could be this role.
And funnily, a lot of times it'll be back to those first 5 names.
It's always back to those first 5 names.
But it's a big shopping list.
It's a big shopping list, and it's really hard, because to me, you know what that means? That means they haven't done their homework. They haven't decided what they're looking for, nor are they able to trust. I mean, I take it quite personally. They're not able to trust other creatives. It's not just me as a casting director. And how are they going to be on set? And if they're not able to trust all of their collaborators, how is this movie going to be finished on time? And there are a lot of other things. My producer brain starts clicking too. And I feel like that's just maybe one of those accidental, roadside pitfalls that first-time directors or changing genres can easily fall into. So maybe people just need to know. Maybe people need to know about that.
And commercials are completely different. That's quick and fast, and a lot of times a look is important for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, directing a commercial is completely different than directing a series, than directing a feature, for sure. But hopefully those were some good tips. Hope you liked them.